So now we turn our attention to Junior Max. Now, the rookie title has already been taken. AJ Bergeraff, congratulations. He will start down in 21st, but I'll come to the title ramifications for juniors in just a minute after we've gone through the grid. Boris Maximov starts on pole position. Bran van der Weyken alongside on the front row. Lars Lambers and Lieke van Berkel round out row 2 ahead of Storm van Rossum and Vince van der Halle. Boris Verhaag, Luca van Leer, Kimi Mai and Max Siderski round out the top 10. Justin Fonk and Nudes Den Engelsman round out the top 6 rows ahead of Priam Lelang and Mohamed El Bouzaki. James van der Poel, Devrim Yater, Korn Willems, Lionel Mugria, Marika Heimstra, Joshua Rejal, AJ Bergeraff, Stephen Wams, Seb Terhorst and Emir Siedkowska round out your 24 strong. So, in terms of the juniors, Boris Maximov has a 5-point advantage ahead of Max Siderski. If Maximov finishes ahead of Siderski, then that is it. Game over. If Max Siderski, however, manages to go, well, I mean, effectively, you would need that Max Siderski would, the first port of call, you look at the point of winning. So, effectively, if Max Siderski wins the race, he needs Boris Maximov to finish 4th or lower. A lot could happen. Looks like Monica Heemstra not out on the grid, well, and is a non-starter. Oh dear. Joshua Rejal in the number 221 Birolart. That kart has stopped on the circuit, and that is heading on to the Europolan, so got to get that kart started very, very quickly indeed. And if that does not happen, then let's see. Yes, okay, well done, Josh. Good job there. Manages to get the kart sorted out. So Joshua Rejal manages to get the 221 Birolart fired up and back onto the circuit. So well done. Red lights, however, are on the gantry. It's Maximov versus Siderski. What's going to happen over the next 13 minutes plus 2 additional laps? We go into the tram lines, revs rise, lights are out first time. Now let's see how turn 1 unfolds. As several drivers looking for the opportunity, several having to use the runoff area. Oh dear! Someone nearly cannonballed into everybody else, and that was the 298 of Mohamed El Bouzaki, whose kart's rear tyres are spinning like nobody's business. Got it on the grass, nearly caused a, maybe could have gotten a strike there, but nevertheless managed to get away with it. Oh no! Who was that just dropped off the circuit? Was that Bran van der Weyken? Was that van der Weyken that just lost it? Understeered straight on at turn 9. So, after the opening lap, Boris Maximov leads the way. Second it is Lars Lambers, so it was Bran van der Weyken that lost it completely, went straight on at turn 9. And now it's a bit of a free-for-all. And Storm van Rossum has just ended up behind Justin Fonk. From 3rd, drops to 7th by making one big old mistake through a corner. And Bran van der Weyken now rejoins. Looks like Kimi Mai is also having his own troubles. And Justin Fonk is now up into 3rd place by some good strategic driving. But in the meantime, Boris Maximov now will be more than a second and a half up the road in terms of the lead battle. But that depends on Lars Lambers. And now Max Siderski is in the cusp of a quintet squabble. 3-second time penalty by Lars Lambers. Unsportsmanlike driving. One driver has to use the runoff area. That was Storm van Rossum. And Max Swiderski finds his way up the inside at turn 2. 3 wide with Van Rossum to the outside, who's hemorrhaging positions at the minute. And someone goes for a dive up into turn 7. That never works out well because the person on the outside is always compromised. I did say anything can happen in these races. And well, Max Swiderski has just proved that all you've got to do is keep your head down. Play it smart. Keep your nose clean. And Lars Lambers now has gotten through on Boris Maximov. Max Swiderski now 7th and is 9.1 seconds behind P2. So there is still a window of opportunity. And Max Swiderski, what he needs to do is start putting in qualifying style laps at this moment in time. It's not going to be easy, that's for damn sure. But you know, with regards to Swiderski, I still remember when he won his first title as a mini a handful of years ago. And he has improved. His racecraft has evolved to the point where he knows exactly what he needs to do. But he needs to catch. What he needs to do now is bring along with him Koen Willems and Boris Verhaag. Oh, but Swiderski has just lost out to Koen Willems. And Boris Verhaag has just got through. There's Stefan Yater, I think, was it? Or no, it's AJ Berggraaf. So AJ Berggraaf there. So that means that Max Swiderski, you've got a wingman. He's your Iceman to your Maverick. I nearly said Goose there. Frederick Bacon, I know you're in the paddock. That would have been a good one, Fred. Right. However, at the minute, there's still a lot of skin in the game to play. And believe you me, Max Swiderski will not give up. There's still probably about the best part of 10 minutes or so of racing left. And Swiderski still has time to find. Now, in the meantime, along with Lars Lambers, Bran van der Weken has just been handed a, well, it's been smacked pretty much on the wrist with a 3-second time penalty for unsportsmanlike driving. Same infraction that we've had thrown at our current race leader, who is, looking at it from this perspective, if you add 3 seconds, it puts Lambers effectively 2/10 ahead of Vince van der Holle. Fastest lap of the race so far, however, Stefan Yater in 19th position. So there is still that modicum, that window of opportunity whereby these drivers can still keep on pushing. So between Boris Maximov and Max Swiderski, I'm a bit fearful of this, and the reason why I say that is the gap has expanded to 13.3 seconds, and that is between Swiderski in 8th and Maximov in P2. The gap between first and second now jumps down to just over 0.31 of a second. Where is Max Swiderski? There. Okay, right. There's Max Swiderski, I think, coming across the line now. And that gap has... Oh, that's further extended. That's another second added on. So the way things are going, it is Boris Maximov's race to lose. If anything happens in the next 5.5 minutes, plus an additional 2 laps, it is, as I say, it is not just Boris Maximov's race to lose, but it's also potentially the fact that a title might come out of his grasp through no fault of his own if rain comes into play. If weather, and it also, you've got to look at it from this perspective whereby if a mechanical happens, we've just seen that proved with Cage Moyes not that long ago. But the thing is that Boris Maximov at the moment is in the right place at the right time. And Maximov, it's advantage for him. So if you were playing a tennis game and you got to 40 all, and it would be advantage Maximov at this point in time. But the skies are looking a little bit greyer up above, and that's what could be quite crucial at this time for the man in the number 230. 3 minutes and 10 seconds still to go. There is an opportunity for Boris Maximov to seal the deal with a victory out on the circuit, which at the moment is on course for happening. So actually, I've just noticed there has been a change. It was actually Emil Siedkowska that has had a is now the one, not as I thought it was, Blan van der Weyken. It's actually Emil Siedkowska that has received a 3-second time penalty for unsportsmanlike driving. So at the moment, Lambers leads on the road, but Maximov will inherit the victory. So all he's got to do is stay in the wheel tracks. He does not need to pass Lars Lambers, but a driver's pride, being a driver's pride, is that if he got the opportunity to go through on Lambers, he would not take a second invitation. He would take that hook, line and sinker without a second thought. But they are teammates, let's not forget. They are under the same awning at Bouvin Power. And now Blan van der Weyken has got through on Max Swiderski for position. Other changes happening up and down the order. Vince van der Holle looking to side off as a rookie this year in chrono karting. He's done a fairly good job. He's currently P3 at the moment. So it looks like it's going to be a top 3 for Berger Bouvin's outfit. Oh, and we have got one driver by the side. Emir Siedkowska walks away from the kart, the 218, and that was out of the final corner. The German, I would say, would have been absolutely frustrated. Chain guard lost in the pre-final, and then on lap 10 retires with a technical DNF. But the end of the road is nigh here in Junior Rotax for chrono karting for 2025. No matter what you say about this season, it is always going to be the case that one drive. Oh, there we go. It's happened. 3 laps to go, and Boris Maximov decides now is the time to get through. Lars Lambers really didn't fight it. He knows that he's got a 3-second time penalty coming his way, but he's going to have a little bit of fun with his teammates. That's what should happen. You know, it's the last race of the season, but there's always, as I said, that inner competitive thought process from every single driver on the grid, no matter what class you are a part of, in karting events all across the world. Right. So, kart 206, James van der Poel has got a 10-second penalty for very unsporting conduct with regards to driving standards. So that has just been shown on the Digi flag. 10 seconds. That's a big old slam dunk penalty. And then next time around, when Lars Lambers crosses the line, it will be one more lap to go. Now we come down to the final 1.36 kilometres of the 2025 Chrono Karting Junior Road Tax season. Lars Lambers on the road is leading by 2 tenths. But Boris Maximov, I'll make that now nearly 4 tenths. Boris Maximov due to inherit the win in the right way possible. Sepp Terhorst, I believe, might have just called time on the race and also on the season itself. Max Sidursky has just put in the fastest lap of the race, a 56.351. But even though down in 8th position, that's a big, big gap between him and the man that is going to now come across the line in just a couple of seconds' time. Lars Lambers might be the winner on the road. He will be demoted to 2nd, but out of the final corner, it's not only a demotion, it's a victory for Boris Maximov, who becomes your 2025 Chrono Karting Junior Road Tax champion. Maximov, in his last appearance, in terms of national competitions, he will make his final appearance as a member of Team Netherlands at the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals, and before he moves up into seniors next year. But he caps off a 2025 season that he will not forget for a very, very long time. Lambers wins on the road. The win goes to Boris Maximov, and he will take with it the 2025 championship title. Vince van der Halle will end up 2nd, as Lars Lambers will be demoted post-race to P3. Van der Halle top rookie, Luca van Leer, Justin Fonk, Boris Verhaag, Bran van der Weken. Max Sidursky has fought every single step of the way, head of Kimi Mai, and finishes 8th, head of Kimi Mai. AJ Berggraaf making up 11 positions and caps off in style his way to the junior rookie crown for 2025. Head of Lieke van Berkel, Storm van Rossum, Devrim Yater, Nuden Engelsman, Lionel Munguia, Mohamed El Bouzaki, Joshua Rajal, James van der Poel, Sepp Terhorst, Prima Lang, Korn Willems out with 1 lap to go. And now we leave you with the customary lap of honour for our 2025 Chrono Karting Junior and Junior Rookie Champions, Boris Maximov and AJ Berggraf.